All right, it's time for Wages and Words with Mario Herron. We got UFC 313 this weekend. Going to be pretty pumped about that. Can Alex Pereira stay on this insane run that he's on, or does he go down? We'll get into that. We also got a little prelims fight before. Curtis Blades is fighting a very young up-and-comer. Does that make sense for him? We also got a little fight change in this as well, as Justin Gaethje takes on a very familiar opponent, as Dan Hooker cannot fight this weekend. So that stinks for him. Make sure, as always, like, share, subscribe, comment if you love it, comment if you hate it. Say ways to improve. Say ways that's great. I'm all for it. I'm all ears. And also make sure you always check out the Bulk Crew podcast with myself, Dave Pele, and Josh Pele, talking all things Charger football and just football all around. This busy time of the year, Trey Anderson, should be a Chargers. Make sure to go ahead and go to that channel. It's also available wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, all the good stuff, Amazon, wherever, Google. I don't know if there's any other ones. If I missed them, sorry, but we're probably there. So make sure to check that out. But let's get to UFC 313. Pretty exciting stuff. As I mentioned, we'll start with the Curtis Blades. So he is the fight that just hangs right outside the card. Just didn't get in. He didn't get into the party, but he's right outside it. Maybe he pre-gamed too hard, and that's why he didn't get in. But anyways, Curtis Blades, a very familiar fighter, right? We all know him. He's had a tough stretch, losing 2 of his last 3 fights, but we also know these are 2 of the most dangerous heavyweights that are currently alive right now. Tom Aspinall, who's, I think, the best heavyweight fighter in the world. I think he can take on John Jones and beat him. And then he also lost to Sergi, who's the 4th heavyweight in the world right now and has been pretty dominant. So still a very legitimate fighter. 13 wins by TKO out of his 19. He faced a guy, Rizvan Konev. He is a very much up-and-comer, like I said, 2-0 in the UFC. That's from the Dana White Contender Series, 12-2 overall, 10-0 in his last 11 fights, and then 1 no contest. He's a very dangerous guy. He's a typical heavyweight, if you will. He swings crazy, swings with power, wants the fight to be very, very quick. Those big fellas, man, they don't want to last long. It's 3 minutes and out. That's the hope and pray for them. That's why they like fast food. But in this fight, Curtis Blades, an extremely heavy favorite, and I'd probably stay with that too. Look, I would stay away from this fight. I wouldn't bet it. Maybe if you lean on it, I would say not to go the distance, because I think Rizvan would love to have a statement. And I think Curtis Blade would love to go, hey, I'm kind of being a company man right now and taking an up-and-comer fight. And I'm just going to beat the crap out of this guy. And plus, in the heavyweight division, if we're being honest, there's not really a lot of prospects. There's not a lot of exciting guys up and coming. After this Aspinall Jones fight, when it becomes official and it's, really going, what happens kind of next? Who's the next step there? You don't really have anything planned. So, but either way, should be a pretty exciting fight. And we'll see. So the next one, different opinions I've seen all around the place on this, but it's Jalen Turner versus Baja Mendez. Baja Mendez, 16-5 for people that don't know, 11 KO TKOs. He has 5 losses. 2 of them were by submission. He is an insane striker, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, my Lord, watch out for this guy. 7.17 civic strikes landed per minute. For people that don't know, 5 is like really, really good. Like, you're considered a pretty lethal striker. So 7.7, hoochie mama. You are something dangerous. Watch out. Those things are weapons. 4.1% absorbed defense is in striking is 57%. That's 16% better than Jalen, and that's a little bit of reason why I kind of edged towards him in this fight. Jalen Turner kind of had a rough go as of lately, but he's very solid. 14-8, 5.6 strikes landed per minute. He's lost 4 of his last 5 fights. But if you kind of look at those, you're like, all right, tough ones. Dan Hooker, he's pretty good. Ronaldo, pretty good. And then Gamer wins by decision. So it's not like he's not facing guys that are slouches in a way. He's faced some really hardcore killers. And now he faces Baja Mendez, who is still pretty strong. He's a very good fighter. He's on a 2-fight win streak, both by KOs. In this, though, both are 6'3". Turner has a slight reach advantage. It's going to be a very fun striking battle. I think the way that Turner can actually slow this fight down and probably make it a dominant, he wins it, is if he shoots on him. That is the big weakness for Baja Mendez, is that his grappling's there, but it's not amazing. And Jalen Turner definitely has advantage in that. So if he can kind of switch up the angles on that and get him kind of guessing and worry about that. I think he'll be in pretty good shape. He is plus money. He's the underdog in this fight. That being said, I would probably still lean the other way, right? I would lean Bahamondes to win this fight. If I had to take a method of how for it to end, I would say by TKO KO because there's just no way in hell that he is going to make this a grappling fight. It's just not going to happen. I mean, we have more chances of pigs fall from the sky. But that's the lean I'll go for that one. The next one I probably feel the most confident about. King Green, baby. Legend of the game in the UFC. 32-16. Boy, has he fought everyone there and back. He's also pretty big underdog in this one, plus 350. If you want him on the money line, pull it off the surprise. But faces Mariko Ruffy, and Ruffy's 11-1, 10 wins by TKO KO. So, that means, hey, you're lights out. He hits one punch and you're going to sleep. He has not lost since 2019. Just Green, thank you so much for the career. But he's lost 2 of his last fights. Patty tapped him pretty quick. Jalen Turner took him out by KO. The only win he kind of had in his 3-fight span was against Jim Miller, who's 41 years old at the time. It's a little old. It's a tune-up fight for Ruffy, and I think that's the way it's going to go. So if you want a bet for this one, it's not the best price. I'd parlay it with some other stuff. Maybe parlay it if you want. Because his TKO is minus 140. So if you really want to get kind of fancy with it, take that, maybe parlay it with the blades. That's minus 325. That'll flirt with you a little bit plus money, and just go ahead and parlay that and just watch it unfold and have some fun with it. But King Green, legend of the game. Too bad he's going to go down pretty quickly. Again, it's a tune-up fight, and that stinks for him. But what are you going to do? So next one we got Amanda Lemos versus Lasmin Losindo. Pronunciation's improving, fellas. Just going to say that right there, baby. That's what about 12 years of speech does for you, and your mom being a teacher. So pay in, lock in, fellas. Then, if you have ADHD, that helps too to get medicated. All right, but let's go into this. It's going to be a good brawl between these two girls. Losindo is better at a brawl in terms of defense, but Lemos, her competition lately has been absolutely stacked, right? She's lost 2 of her last 3, but it was against a title contender in Whaley, who's arguably the best woman fighter in the UFC right now. And then Verna, who's the 3rd-ranked strawweight in the division. Amanda's also 14-4. She has 8 TKO KOs. I wish I could talk. And 3 submissions, 8 first-round finishes. But Losindo, she's a great fighter in her own right. 3.52 strikes landed, 2.94 strikes absorbed. She's on a 4-fight win streak. Her last fight was her first top 10 fight, and she handled it pretty damn well. Listen, in this, it's kind of a vet versus a girl that's starting to figure out, and I kind of like Amanda on the plus money because of the competition she has faced. It's just far much better than what Losindo's seen. And that's why I give her the edge. She's going to be the smarter fighter. She's going to be a more technical fighter. She's going to be more patient. She's going to find the holes in Losindo's game and expose them. And at plus money, I lean in that direction. Am I going to say with 100% confidence that, oh my God, she's going to dominate this fight? I wouldn't think so. But I would lean on her just not being. I think sometimes when you have a fight where you go, all right, you just had your top 10 fight, and now you get a top 5 competitor, and this is your chance to kind of reach up and maybe get a shot at the belt, the nerves are really on you, right? And you're kind of more nervous. Where Amanda, she's been around the block a couple times. She's faced the best of the best. It's going to be everything that Losindo throws at her, she's already seen probably multiple times through better fighters. So I like her at the plus money. It's better value, so I'll go ahead and take that there. Amanda with the upset. If you will, according to Vegas. Now, let's go. Justin Gaethje. God, I love this man. We all remember the fight with Max Holloway for the BMF belt. That was an insanely good fight. Gaethje goes down at the buzzer. Holloway, it's a highlight of his career. Oh, one of them. Gaethje, though, that's who he is. He's a lethal striker, and sometimes he's the highlight, and sometimes he causes the highlight. And he knows that. And he's going to this fight against Rafael, who I watched that first fight a couple days ago. And the notes I kind of had from it is Rafa really catches him. he catches him a good amount of times. And Gaethje, if you watch, he does, I call it like a lockup where you kind of get hit and you see sometimes when guys get knocked out or, get struck in the mid region, they really just lock up and like, oh my God, they're hurt. That's when you hear like the announcers go, he's hurt. And then they like sprint towards him and then continue to punch him in the face like 20,000 times, even though he's like already seeing God. I saw that a couple times in that fight, but the Gaethje is just a warrior, and he's just able to power through it. And then in the end, he shoots on him, and then he's able to get secure takedown. And if you secure a takedown in kind of a fight that's going 60-40 your way, that 60-40 just went to 80-20. I think it's a similar recipe in this. And also, Gaethje opened in this fight as an underdog, which was crazy to me. He still is at plus 135. I would take that. Rafael's also coming off an injury, coming off a torn ACL. Man, if you don't think Gaethje's going to come in there here with a little chip on his shoulder, a little, I want to get, my name back out there and not everyone just remember me from getting knocked out by Max Holloway at the buzzer and a BMF belt, he's going to, man. He's going to be ready to go. And, Rafael, he's taking this on a pretty short notice. Gaethje's not. Gaethje's been training. He's been in the gym. He's been waiting for this fight. And I know, he's waiting for Hooker and he gets this guy instead, but it's someone he's familiar with. And so he knows that he can take down. Plus, this guy's coming off an injury. It's going to be an amazing fight. A lot of this, it's going to be bonkers, man. It's going to be really, really fun to watch. And sometimes I think in the UFC, you wonder, like, is it really worth it to buy this card? This card, I mean, you could put it at any price, and I think I'd get it. The excitement and with these guys, it's going to be awesome. But I take Gaethje in it. It's just plus money. You have to, say less. And let's say that maybe Gaethje is getting beat up a little bit in the stand-up, but he's not really finding his strikes. He's not really landing as much as he used to. What if he does just go shoot again? It worked last time. He's an elite wrestler. Why not? Just make it that. I think it's a smarter move. The guy attacked that knee. ACL, it's not strong. Attack those legs. So, Gaethje, plus money. Let's do the dance. The granddaddy of them all, Alex Pereira. Magomed. Now, there's been a lot of things said about this fight. Magomed doesn't think Alex Pereira is focused. Look, it's hard to stay focused, I think, if you're at Pereira's level. Because, look, you have won, 3 fights in one calendar year? Yeah, 3 fights in 2024. 4 in a row by TKO KO. And the light heavyweight division, your name's popular. Your name's all over the map. You're a superstar now. You want to be in a movie? You're in, buddy. You want to go on a podcast? You got it. You want free food somewhere? You're going to get it. You want Gucci? You got it. You can go in and buy a whole Lululemon. He has everything. It's very hard to find that drive once you're at the top. Magomed really wants to be there, and he's been really wanting this fight for a long time now. He's an insanely good fighter. At 20-1 is his record. 11 wins by knockout, 6 first-round finishes, 58% strike defense on a 13-fight win streak. Do you need to say more? He's also the thing I think that slept on him and that, it's been kind of talked about repeatedly is, does he shoot on Alex? And if he does, what does Alex's defense look like? If he takes him to the ground, what happens to Alex then? Can Alex get it back up on the feet? Very honest questions with Alex's age. And not to mention, I mentioned it, 3 fights in 2024. Yes, he knocked all those guys out. He walked through them. But that is a lot of damage on a pretty old body that did a lot of years of kickboxing. At some point, Father Time comes home, and he starts knocking, and he wins. This is a lot of action to do at this age. That's a lot of already predetermined damage. There's fighters that say when you go into a fight, you're never 100%. You're like 70 at best. What do you think that percentage is when you're older? You've had less time to kind of recover on top of years and years of kickboxing. And then the sparring sessions that you do to train. Like, it is a lot of damage there. With that all being said, it's very hard to go against Alex Pereira. I get it. I've done it before. Got burned. Got burned pretty bad. I really thought you were going to take him. And I think Magomed's going to take him this time. Because I think he can withstand Alex's pressure. He can withstand his striking. I think he can shoot on him if he wants to and make it a ground fight. All you got to do is one time just get a secure takedown, and you can probably take 1 round. Then survive the other 4. Maybe in one of those 4, you outstrike him. Okay, now you got 2 rounds. You're in a pretty good spot then. Then you just really need one more to go the distance, or you can just take him out, knock him out by chance. I think the best bet in this, if I had to kind of pick one, is for the fight to go the distance, and that's at plus 150. I actually think it does. I think Magomed's a good enough striker where he's not going to get caught. And I think Alex Pereira is a good enough fighter where he won't get caught either. I think knocking him out without the question. I think shooting on him could work and you take him to the ground. But submitting him, I don't think he'll – I think he's good enough where a submission's not going to happen. If you wanted a submission, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to get some pretty good money on it, plus 800 for a submission. So, if you want to throw a little DoorDash money on that, go ahead. But I think the ultimate way is this fight's going to go the distance. And that's crazy to say because it's Alex Pereira and of the 4 fights in a row by TKO KO. But this is the most talented fighter he's faced, I think, in quite a while. Not quite a while, but it's the most talented fighter he's faced in this division right now. Right now, I'm saying. I'm going to sprinkle on Magomed because I think he can take him. And we'll see what happens. I'm cheering for Magomed also because if Alex wins this, I have a scary feeling this will lead right into John Jones. If he doesn't win this, it's gonna be really interesting. Like, all right, it's like what now? And also, how long do you want to give him to fight John Jones? Because now the rumor or right now the report is that John Jones will go Aspinall first and then Alex. But hopefully we get that. If it's before that, then that's stupid. But if he loses, like, what does happen next for him? Like, what route do you want to go? I don't know. We'll see. But at the end of the day, this is going to be such an exciting fight. I mean, grab the popcorn. It's going to be a late one if you're on the East Coast. Shout out to all the East Coast people. Grab a little 10 p.m. coffee. I do it every single day of the week because I'm on BetMGM tonight. They can catch from 7 to 11 p.m. Eastern on the BetMGM network. Find them anywhere you podcast as well. It's also on YouTube. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. But get a late coffee in this. It's going to be awesome. So that's what I got for this fight. UFC 313. Thank you guys all so much for listening. I'll talk about one last fight before I go because I'm pretty ecstatic about it. It's Michael Chandler versus Patty. That's coming up. And the reason why I want to talk about that fight really quickly is because I think Michael Chandler is going to do a number on him. A number. Now, that is a fight where Patty, you finally get your big shot, your big, tough opponent in a division that is very, very stacked. Good luck, buddy. I hope he does win because I actually like Patty. I think he's a very talented fighter. But that being said, I think Chandler is really going to do a number on him, and I'm really excited for it. A lot of exciting stuff coming up in the UFC, man. I'm pumped for it. Enjoy UFC 313. This is Wages and Warriors with Mario Herron. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Comment if it sucks. Comment if it's good. I like it either way. Yeah, call your mom. Make your mom subscribe too. They will always do that. It's really easy to do that. So thank you guys again so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Make sure to check out the Bull Crew podcast. It'll be live on Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the fights and good luck.